So, how many people are wearing your fragrance? Well, you see, this depends on how popular your fragrance is. Well, let's just say it's Dior Sauvage, which is a very common fragrance and one of the most sold men's fragrances in the world. Now, when you're going about your day-to-day life, you will probably come across some people wearing it, which, in my honest, humble opinion, I don't think is a bad thing. Is it common? Yes, of course it is. Will I or have I ever complained about someone wearing Dior Sauvage? No, I haven't. Why? Because it's simplistic, I like it, it's not too annoying or headache inducing. And also keep in mind this, as popular as this fragrance is, I have only smelt about 6 or 7 people throughout my life wearing Dior Sauvage. And yes, some of them I did know, but most were just random people I happened to be sharing a room with. So this got me thinking. Say Acqua di Giorgio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. Once again, one of the most sold men's fragrances in the world. And I haven't even smelled anyone wearing it. Like, ever. And I'm not talking about something like The One by Dolce & Gabbana, which hasn't got the best projection. I've just named 2 fragrances with a very loud and very strong projection, so you would think I would smell these everywhere. You know, some people, notice I'm saying some, have started to get this perception of, oh, I don't want to buy designer fragrances because it's too common and I won't get all the compliments. Your fragrance isn't as common as you think it is. Now, let's go down the line a little bit further with Pure Excess by Paco Rabanne. Now, notice I am going from the most sold men's fragrances in the world, Dior Sauvage and Acqua di Giorgio, to something popular, but not as popular as them 2 I mentioned earlier. I still haven't noticed anyone ever wearing this. I personally think some people are getting into niche or indie house fragrances for all the wrong reasons. It's like, I want to spend £300 on a niche fragrance because I will be the only person in the room that will smell like this, and all the women will notice how independently different my fragrance is from all the other men and just start coming up to me and eye-fucking me. Like, shut up. Start going to the gym, do some push-ups, start dressing a little bit nicer and taking care of your hygiene. Yes, that does mean your breath as well. And boom, what do you know? I've saved you £300 easy like that. I would much rather have that £60 Pure Excess bottle that will get me a compliment or 2 than spend £300 on a Tom Ford fragrance someone might maybe like. Now, this genuinely does upset me. That's why I added this part into the video. That I know there are some men in the fragrance community who genuinely watch all these top 10 niche panty droppers, top 10 sexiest fragrances 2022, top 10 fragrances for you to get a girlfriend or get fucked or whatever. And they are foolishly genuinely thinking to themselves that the thing that is missing in their life is another expensive fragrance to add to their collection. Or thinking the amount of money they have to spend on a fragrance is the issue why they tend to struggle with women. Now, be honest with me, right? Please write this down in the comments. Take some time out of your day. Please write this down in the comments. When was the last time you smelled Versace Eros in the club? Not someone else told you they smelt it. You yourself actually smelt Versace Eros in the club. Now, I honestly don't know how clubs are around where you live, but I've noticed personally going clubbing, I can't really smell anyone's fragrance on them. Even my own, I struggle to pick it up in the club. Now, I do think it's 2 things. I think one of them is the smoke machines being released every 2 seconds. And all the beer and alcohol on the floor kind of making a weird smell of the club. Anyway, But usually when I'm around people, I tend to pick up on their scent when we leave the club. Maybe we're walking to the next club and the cold air hits them. And that's when I can actually appreciate what someone is wearing that night. And of course, as I was saying, you could argue with this point as well and say, well, Casper, it depends on the club, depends on the venue, depends how many people are there that night. Just depends on a lot of factors. And honestly, it's got me wondering recently, what's like the fragrance community's obsession with getting that compliment? That, like, do you honestly expect someone to walk up to you and be like, oh, Jimmy boy, I love the way your African leather oud from France note matches with the beautiful Brazilian nut butt lift note. Oh my god, you're so hot, let's fuck. like people are not out here wearing these best fragrances of 2022 as often as we actually think they are. Realistically, people outside the fragrance community are completely clueless about fragrances, and they will just walk up to you and say, oh my god, I really like what you're wearing today. What is it? That's all you're getting. That's the biggest compliment you could ever get on a fragrance. Now I know that this video has dragged on a bit longer than I was expecting, but I will just round up this video in 5 simple points. To change up the scenery, I'm going to read it off my laptop. Point number 1, your fragrance is probably very unique to most average people in the world. Point number 2, stop thinking everyone around you is a fragrance reviewer wearing your fragrance. Point number 3, realize that the chances of someone wearing your fragrance to an event / a party are very, very rare, as most people haven't got 40 fragrances in their collection like you do. Most people only have 1 or 2 they wear every occasion. Maybe it's the Bleu de Chanel they bought 3 years ago, and once that bottle runs out, they're going to go to the Chanel discounter, buy another bottle exactly like that, and continue wearing it. Number 4, your fragrances are good enough. You don't need to go out there, look for the new niche house no one's found, or the indie house no one's ever known of, to get your compliments. And point number 5, the most important point of this video, I need to add that. Right, so don't expect fragrance to always get you compliments. Work out, as I said earlier. Dress well. Have good hygiene. Brush your teeth, brush your tongue. People don't know that you need to brush your tongue and brush your gums whilst you're brushing your teeth. And people will just naturally levitate around you and compliment you. So there we are. I would like to read your comments as well. Thank you all so much for watching this discussion. Let me know if I should do more of these. But apart from that, I will see you in the next one.